This time next week, we will have a new government, but also kicking off as well, no doubt. Um, there will probably be a Tory election contest in the offing because, in no way, no way whatsoever, is Rishi Sunak sticking around. He is getting while the getting is good. He has been California dreaming for some while now, and he just cannot wait to fly off into LAX. Um, he literally cannot wait, I think. And after such a disaster of a campaign, something which also maybe in the weeks after, maybe a couple of months after, we will start to hear the inside stories of just what went wrong. Maybe we'll get some people on the inside who come out and said, well, actually, this is what happened. This was what was going on behind the scenes. You thought it was that bad on the outside. This is how bad it was on the inside. So we're going to get that in spades. But of course, that is only going to be a nice little sideshow to the real circus that will be taking part, which is going to be the Tory civil war. And oh boy, will they be going full bore civil war. So just yesterday, we asked, if you get rid of Joe Biden, who replaces him? It's a generally difficult question to sort of ask. But who replaces Rishi Sunak? Well, that really depends on whoever is left. This is why, if you want to send the Tory party into an absolutely ever deeper existential crisis hole, which whether they will not be able to come out for quite some time, vote tactically and get rid of as many Tories as you can. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So remember that, folks, when you go to the polls and during this week as well. So before we do get into this of who could replace Rishi Sunak, please remember to click on the like, the share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page, the one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there is the Pony Club down below as well. And of course, remember, it is the 99th episode of the Pony Club this Wednesday. After the election, it will be the 100th Pony Club, so we'll be doing something a bit special for you all for the 100th one, although I don't know what I'll be doing yet. I still don't know what I want. Still don't know what I'm going to do yet. But yes, do come and join us on that. And like I say, links down below, not only for the Pony Club as well, but the Patreon also get access to those videos as well. So thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel. So The Guardian very, very quite nicely also did an explainer about who could also replace Rishi Sunak. And I think going off some of these things are also very, very likely who could replace Rishi Sunak. I do agree with a lot of these people who they've picked. Starting, of course, with Suella Braverman. Remember, just a couple of weeks ago, months ago, shall we say, not weeks, but constantly throughout all last year, Suella Braverman had been going out to these really strange, bizarre conservative conferences and basically saying she was the next leader, that she was the next natural leader of the party, that she was the one. And she is firmly for the far right of the party, so she would have their backing. We'll see if she could make it, but certainly if she survives, Suella Braverman absolutely throwing her hat in the ring. The next one I also agree with as well, Kimmy Badenoch. If you've watched our videos we've done on the polling from Conservative Home, bear in mind the polling from Conservative Home was predicting the Liz Truss win of that particular leadership election before anyone ever really realized it. Who's at the top of that Conservative polling? Well, it's Kimmy Badenoch. But there are massive worries about her combativeness, about how she's acted in Parliament, arguing with the Speaker, arguing with her own fellow Tories uh, during committee hearings. The fact that she was meant to be the one to deliver the bonfire of EU regulations and then didn't. And of course, we all know what the right wing of the party said. Those hardcore fundamentalists went and said, you will never be the leader of the Conservative Party. That is a threat. I think that if she gets there, they will try and carry out and they will try and get rid of her. But if she can make it to the last two, I think she'll walk it. I think if she can get to the last two, it is her contest to win. So again, it will be an interesting final two who gets there, but we'll see. Priti Patel, this could be a three-way race from these right wingers, all splitting the vote, all splitting that right wing vote, and Priti Patel, absolutely on that right wing spectrum. But of course, remember, she does come from that Boris Johnson era of government, so there's a lot to attack her over. A lot to attack her over. There's the bullying in stuff against civil servants. But she's been beavering away quite quietly. So who knows what allies and things she could have up her sleeve. Because she has been very, very quiet, suspiciously quiet over the past couple of years. So make no mistake, Priti Patel survives. Absolutely another one who will throw their hat in the ring for potential leadership election run. Tom Tugendhat. Tom Tugendhat's message, if you were watching the last Tory leadership campaign, he was the one, really the one, who was like, the Tory party has to change. After Johnson, we have to change. He's very, very much a Tory centrist. A lot of the Tory centrists were pinning their hopes on him. But as he points out here, he came fifth. So he has a big, big hill to climb. And of course, he's going to try and, survive the election first. Will he or will he not? Who knows? But then, as we said, if you've got a three-way fight between these three right wingers of Braverman, Bednock, and Patel, maybe Tugendhat could slip in. Maybe you could get further than before. But I think he might end up being like Rishi Sunak. When he gets there, he's not strong enough and doesn't end up surviving long. So that's my honest prognosis. If Tugendhat got there and won, he would not last long. He would be gone, I think, very, very quickly. I do not think he has the spine or the backbone to really actually rein in and deal with the Tory party that needs to be dealt with. Will he do it? Who knows? But there's also competition. Penny Mordaunt. Penny Mordaunt, also the darling of the Tory centrists. If anyone from the centrist party is going to run, I don't think Tom Tugendhat might run. Penny Mordaunt, if she survives, absolutely going to run. But will this help her? Will this, get her up there? Just as we talked about Kiri Badenoch's problems, she has her own errors. A lot of unforced errors that she's made in the past, even when she was debating recently in those leadership debates that we saw. So we'll have to see. But hey, a lot of the polls are showing that she could very well lose her seat. So I am skeptical that Mordaunt will be there. So maybe this opens the way for Tugendhat. But his other challenger, of course, James Cleverly. Cleverly by name, but not by nature. Um, we will see. We will see if Cleverly could make it. Um, Again, I don't know. I really don't think he will. I think it's going to be one of these three: Patel, Badnoch, or Braverman at this moment in time. If you were sort of forcing my hand, saying, "Well, who could it be out of all these?" Um, Cleverly is again potentially another centrist. How much appeal does he have to the rest of the right wing? Again, he's got his own baggage. Um, Sort of to see that. We'll see. Will he throw his hat in the ring? Again, a lot of people have suggested it, said that he might. But again, will he survive? Who knows? It will all be down to who survives. And now you've got some of the surprise ones. Again, if they survive. Robert Jerrick. I like it. Viewed by some in the party as a B-list braverman. Um, we'll see if he makes it. But you're seeing instantly here. He was labeled as Robert Generic Jerrick. So he's that uncharismatic. He can't distinguish himself from anyone else in the party. That's not a good leader. That's not a good view for a potential leader that you want. So very likely he could throw his hat in the ring, but I don't think he will get very far. Grant Shapps, again, if he survives, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely he could run. This is a guy who has been integral to other Tory insider campaigns, constantly known for having spreadsheets about who's going to vote which way, who's going to do what. Maybe, again, he goes for it. Who knows? And then this was an interesting one. Victoria Atkins. So many voters, even some Tory members, might say, who? Well, an MP since 2015, Atkins has been a cabinet minister for a little more than 6 months, made health secretary in the most recent Sunak reshuffle. She nevertheless is seen now within many of the party as a good communicator and has a safe seat. Her 2019 majority was not far short of 29,000. She would survive anything beyond an extinction level defeat. And I think, again, I think why they've put her there is maybe you do see someone survive who steps forward and says, hey, it could be me. And we could be all like, who? Who's this? I've never heard of them. Because remember, there are plenty of Tories you've never even seen in the headlines before. So it could be a literal who ends up running for it. And then, of course, Nigel Farage. If they are so insane as to do this, as to put him in, to allow him into the Conservative Party, first of all, it will absolutely split the party. And of course, if they made him leader, or he got that far to be leader, that would split the party even further. Like, I think you would get a definite split. I think you would get a lot of the Tory moderates saying, right, we're going off over here to form our own party. I think that's how bad it would go. But if they went the Nigel Farage route, which is the supreme panic route, but again, Nigel's going to win his seat in Clacton. We'll see what happens. But that I will wait for the results. But hey, could possibly happen. But anyway, let me know what you think. I think there are a lot of interesting plays that could come about because of this, but it all comes down to who survives, because you can only become leader of the party if you have a seat in the Commons. If you don't, good luck. So we'll see who survives. We'll see who comes out of this, and then we'll watch the continuing infighting. Just because they win their seat does not mean that they will solve any of the problems, any of the infighting, or anything like that. And oh boy, if someone like Badnoch, Braverman, or Patel wins their seat, they are going to start purging the party of those centrists that maybe are left, and they ain't going to go quietly. They ain't gonna go quietly at all. So trust me, there is a lot of Tory civil warring to come, and gonna get it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I've been priming you for this for years, but it is finally about to happen. Finally about to be unleashed, and oh boy, we are gonna feast well. We are gonna feast very well on the drama to come. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.